Welcome to a match of Starcraft 2, played by people that are way better than me. The map is going to be Blackburn, and joining me today are two very strong players in their own right. In the bottom left, it is going to be the Red Terran, the People's Terran, the pillar of perseverance and tenacity, the recent GSL champion. It is Cure. And the opponent spawning in the bottom right, the Lightning Zerg, the IEM champion, with more actions than I can even fathom sometimes, along with a pool first here. It is Reynor. It's going pool first. What an exciting development. On the other side, Cure, opening up with... That's almost where your barracks goes, Cure. It looks like Cure's trying to do one of those fake proxy moves. Is Macarax the term? Macro, proxy, racks? Either way, look, the barracks is supposed to go there, but he's gambling that the Overlord's gonna come in, not see a barracks, and Reynor's gonna panic. I don't think that's actually what's going to happen. I think what is actually going to happen is that Reynor's pool first is going to just put a bunch of Zerglings in the base, and we might be looking at a very short game here. I could be wrong, though. It's only 6 links. That's very manageable, even on a low economy, low barrack setting. Wow, Cure going reactor first, too. The risk, the gamble I'm seeing. Cure, you madman. Alright, so thankfully this is going to heat up very quickly. Reynor is not going all in, though. It's not full aggression. There is a hatch at the natural behind this, the natchery, if you will. I quite like that term. Lings are going to come in. They're going to harass the SCV, who immediately gets pulled off the line. Marines coming out now. They're going to push those Zerglings back. 4 Lings against 2 Marines. Given that the Lings are injured, it's a tough call. Cure has to wait until he has more Marines. The SCV! Oh. SCV lives. Marines stutter stepping. SCV also lives. 2 Lings go down, and the other 4 are going to go home. It's a hold for Cure. And not just a hold, but ladies and gents, that was a flawless defense, as they might say, in the Mortal Kombat universe. 0 losses. And Cure is responding, well, one, by taking his anger out on those poor innocent rocks, but also, more importantly, with 2 more racks. 3 racks. What is this, a Protoss build? Opening up with Stim, that is a second tech lab going up, so probably combat shields. The idea behind this is you just get out a lot of Marines, like 20, 25 Marines very quickly, and you go for Stim and combat shields. Reynor tried to send an OV in, but it's going to get forced back, even going to get killed off. Oh, avert your eyes, Zerg players. So, that was quite nice, actually. Reynor opening up with the pool first, a bit of aggression. Cure gonna try and swing that hammer right back. Stim about halfway done. Combat shields close to halfway done. Is Reynor going to be ready? What is the answer to this, you ask? Great question. If somebody would like to tell me, I'm all ears. My initial thought is a lot of Queens and a decent amount of Zerglings to try and surround the Marines. This push usually does not come with medevacs, so if you can force a Stim out on the map before the Marines are at your door, that's huge. Every Stim that you force is a lot of permanent damage to the Marines with no medevacs here. It's go time, Cure, moving out. 21 Marines. Reynor is going to spot it. He knows that's a lot of Marines coming across the map. Queen count is at 5. 2 more just about to finish. 8 Lings on the way as well. 18 Lings currently. So it's a decent force for Reynor. He might be able to hold this off. Stim goes out. Marines pushing forward. They pick off a creep tumor. Queen going to survive with very, very low health. Cure now pushing even more forward. One queen picked off. She's unworthy to be part of the knitting crew. Lings doing everything they can to keep the damage off of the queens. Another stim was used and these Marines are badly bruised. Count is taken down. What is that? 10-ish Marines. It's a number 10-ish. You know what I'm talking about. They're going to get some reinforcements here, but the bulk of the damage is done. Are there medevacs? There are medevacs on the way. That's really the next step, because this pressure cannot be kept up by the Terran without medevac support. Getting some damage done on the creep spread, that's helpful. It's not game ending by any means, but it is definitely helpful. Wasting some of that queen energy, they have to spend their time laying more tumors instead of building up for transfuses. Ooh, Cure bringing tanks along too. Reynor does have a scouting Ling on the other side of the map. Is he gonna see it? He sees the medevacs, okay, but he doesn't know what's in them. It could just look like 2 medevacs joining the army. Cure now going to unload the tank. Beautiful play. Beautiful play. Banes are morphing in. Bane speed is nowhere near completed though, and suddenly Reynor has a tank on his creep spread. Marines doing a bit of a pre-split. There is no Bane speed to worry about, but that does not mean the Banes are an empty threat. They still could do a lot of damage. Transfuses going out on the queens, gonna hold the Marines back. Still no queen losses other than that initial one, so a lot of Lings wrapping around. Might be able to get us around. Second tank, reinforcement, Marines joining the fight now. +1 gonna finish for Cure, but Bane speed gonna finish for Reynor. And I think Reynor might just win that exchange. Gonna have to zoom out for this one. Queens holding the right side. Lings come in for the flank on the left. Banes rolling forward. Target fire is done, but it's not good enough. Banes are going to connect with the Marines. Queen's going to get rid of both tanks. Medevacs still intact though. It's a hold. You have to hand it to Reynor. It is a good defense with no drone losses. I'm inclined to say it's still a win for Reynor. At this point, he's just adding on more queens, more Zerglings, more Banelings. That's what you have to do to keep this at bay. And he's already got 12 queens with 4 more on the way. What is this? An oligarchy form of government with 16 queens making decisions here? Tank going up on the high ground, tank on the low ground, Marines on both sides to protect them. Is Reynor just going to go for the counterattack, or is he going to try and flank here? Queens made their way into the main base thanks to that healthy creep spread. Reynor actually made a creep highway for his bases. I'm proud of him. Queens, they're not in range of the tanks, so they can trade pretty well against the Marines with transfuse. Oh, on the other side, he's going to counterattack. Banes bust the wall and Lings are in the base. There are Marines. There is a tank, but is there any hope? 10 SCVs go down to a massive Bane hit on the left. Lings chewing away at the supply depots. Cure is going to hold. Meanwhile, Liberators joining the attack force over here. Do Queens care about Liberators? That is the big question we must ask. Queens do not have to care about much in this game. Thors might be one thing they actually have to care about. Liberators? It depends. It depends on the position they're in. They do not have to care about these Marines though. One queen going to be picked off. Tank fire going to keep the Lings at bay. So Reynor just going to opt for a counterattack. I like the play. There's no wall here. Cure didn't rebuild the wall. Cure, it's Terran 101. You need a wall at your front base. What about the other side? Marines pushing forward. They get a couple queens. Banes, Lings here. The queens are still holding. The defense is fine. There's been minimal drone losses. The hatch is alive. Marines still trying to trade away. Damage was done on the other side of the map. 15 more SCVs were killed off. Oh man. I'm liking Reynor's position more and more. He's holding the line at his base, meanwhile getting damage done on the other side. This is an absolute impressive wall of queens. We're up to 16 queens with more on the way. Good job, Reynor. He knows what the good units are. It's time. Ling's coming in from both sides now. Cure gonna pick up some Marines. Is it the right call? Who really knows? Bane's being target fired at the bottom. Oh, Bane connections. Tanks going to be picked off. The queens pushing everything back. Liberators were destroyed too. Yeah, so there's the answer to your question. Queens do not have to care about Liberators. It's a good hold for Reynor. Reynor is in a much better spot. Cure isn't even remaking his SCVs. He's just trying to brute force his way through this. I do not like that decision though. You have a third CC, Cure. Why not use it? He's behind over double the worker count. Reynor still droning up too. He's going to go up to nearly triple Cure's worker count. The Doom drop in the main. Lings and Banes have made their way here. They can get us around. Oh, yeah, Cure going to have to pack it up and head home. More Lings just going to go across the map. I agree with the choice. Siege tank. Going to set up in the natural. Group of Marines to hold them off. Is it too many Zerglings there? Tough to say. Tough to say. More tanks pushing forward onto creep. Sieging up in a decent spread. There's not a lot of Banes here right now, but the Lings, I see them moving across the side. Queen's gonna hold the line even against tank fire. Some of them are dying off, but it's still just is too much Zerg. Reynor's gonna cut off the reinforcements now too. Stim trying to run away from the hungry Zerglings. Much scarier than hippos, if you remember that game. Queens, oh, taking tank shots on both sides, but still, like I said, Reynor's got triple the worker count here. He's got the economy. He just has to build enough units to overwhelm, and here it is. Reynor gonna get the full surround. Lings on both sides. Bane's connecting against the Marines. Queen's gonna pick off every tank. I'm not sure what Cure's plan is here. With his choice to not make any SCVs, he has... It feels like he's kind of just cutting his own legs off, because you're making the call to not make any workers. You have to get damage done in the next few minutes, or else Reynor is going to do what he's already done. He got to his healthy drone count. Oh, yeah. Bane's connecting even more workers. Cure is down to 13 workers, and you start the game with 12. That's saying something. The third CC is flying. I guess it's... You might be able to make some money with tourist attractions if you can fly around and carry something in your command center and charge people tickets, but I'm not feeling a lot of hope for Cure in this game. I'm definitely not feeling a lot of hope for Cure in this game. Lings get into the natural. He is going to deny this gold base. He could get the hatchery, but I don't even think any drones were killed off. Meanwhile, Lings completely ravage the natural. The hatchery is going to go down. It's a good trade, but far too little, far too late. Queen's going to deny the damage on the top right. The medevac is in the air, and the Lings... They smell blood. Reynor setting up another surround here. Queens on the right. Lings on both sides. Bane's rolling in. It's a full surround. That's got to be game over. Cure gonna have to tap out. Very well played on both sides, but I have to question that decision to not make any workers for Cure. He lost a great deal of workers in those first couple attacks, but he had the third CC. He could have remade some of those. Instead, choosing to just try and get damage done, just brute force your way on the other side of the map. But Reynor covering all of his angles thanks to an impressive group of 17 queens at one point. GG, well earned. If you enjoyed the game, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a great day.